my beautiful little unicorns, and welcome back to my channel. And if this is in fact the first time that you're on my channel, please allow for me to introduce myself to you. My name's Vanessa Somuayina. You guys know me as your big sis from the internet, as well as your favorite psychic medium right here on YouTube. And in today's Pick a Card Psychic Predictions, I have prepared the next chapter coming towards you in life. If you have been feeling lost and anxious, and you would love to know what's coming next for you in life, then you are in the perfect space right here on the internet. Because in order to help you figure out what is coming towards you during the next chapter of your life, I have prepared 3 groups that you can choose from, and I would like you to pick one of these 3 groups intuitively. And before I introduce you to the 3 groups, I've got a favor to ask. According to my analytics, about 48% of you who watch my videos are not yet subscribed to the channel. So if you watch my readings, find them calming and healing, please make sure that you don't forget to subscribe, because that greatly supports the channel and makes it possible for me to continue to be providing you with your psychic readings. Alright you guys, so the 3 groups that I've got prepared for you today are as follows. Group number 1 corresponds to the Every Little Thing You Do Is Magic tarot deck, as well as the Celestine crystal. Group number 2 corresponds to the Self-Care Oracle deck for busy souls, as well as the Rose Quartz crystal. And group number 3 corresponds to the Dreams of Gaia tarot deck, as well as the Cherry Agate crystal. The timestamps to all 3 of these groups can be found below in the description box, as well as pinned to the top of the comment section. And just as a quick disclaimer, get yourself a beverage of your choice, make yourself at home and comfortable, put this on podcast style as you're driving to work, to school, or you're ticking off your to-do list at home, because we will be getting into all of the nitty-gritty details about the next chapter that's coming towards you, as I'm not going to leave out any information. So I will now provide you with a little moment of privacy. Feel free to pause the video right here if you need a little longer to meditate on your groups, and then I'll be right back to guide you into your readings. Alright, my gorgeous soul, by now you've hopefully been able to select one of these 3 groups. I will be getting into your reading, starting off with group number 1, which corresponds to the Every Little Thing You Do Is Magic tarot deck, as well as the Celestine crystal. So if this is the group that you chose, then simply keep watching, and to my other 2 beautiful groups, I will catch you at the click of your timestamp. Hello, my gorgeous soul of group number 1. You chose the Every Little Thing You Do Is Magic tarot deck, as well as the Celestine crystal, which is also known as the Celestite, so you can use both names interchangeably. And this gorgeous crystal is the crystal of divine peace and heavenly connection. It's derived from the Latin word celestis, which means heavenly, and it's a crystal that carries a soft but powerful vibration of divine peace, which is perhaps why you chose this crystal, to figure out what the next chapter in your life is going to be about. But let's move into your reading to figure out more, group number 1, shall we? So lean back, relax, and enjoy your prediction as we delve deeply into your reading right from the start. We've got the Elder of Wands as well as the Four of Wands to begin with. Now, what the Elder of Wands represents, despite it being depicted as a gecko right here from this deck, it represents an elder, someone older with fire sign energy, so Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius energy, with whom you have a solid foundation with. And I see here in the Four of Wands, you're building a home together, you're planting your own vegetable garden. If that's always been a dream of yours, to live somewhere in the nature, to have your own garden, to be with someone that you can rely on, I just want you to know here, this is not a dream, this is your destiny, this is the next chapter of your life. And the Elder of Wands shows someone who is mature, who has a very old soul type of nature and energy, and they look out for you. That's why they're hanging out here on this branch. They're the kind of person who doesn't need much from you other than care, attention, and love. That is what they thrive off of, and honestly, they just want to be around you. They just want to be in your energy. The Elder of Wands also represents that there's someone who is very passionate. They can be a little temperamental, so that means that they're a comedian, but they also have very quick comebacks if you're ever in a discussion with them, but they would never do anything to hurt you. I see here in the 3 of Pentacles that showed up in reverse, The thing is, they don't want you to have to work hard, and they don't want you to go out to work. That's what I'm getting in the Three of Pentacles reversed, that you can work, but you don't have to. And I do see here that in the Three of Pentacles reversed, your job is not a forever thing. So I just want you to know that the next chapter in your life is definitely a chapter where your job is optional. It's a chapter where you're kind of more in the vibe of being at home, tending to plants and pets, and doing things that you love because you love them. And the Five of Cups shows us here that also you will be there for your person through a time of grief. The Elder of Wands shows us here that they have a hard time ahead of them that will make them need you emotionally. So they would never be this needy person, but you can just sense, okay, the person that I love, the person that I care about, they really need me right now. And I do see that they're going through some challenges where their parents, someone close to them in their family. And I do see here that because of the emotional intelligence that you've got and the solid foundation you've built with this person, it just happens very naturally. Now, the Oracle of Pentacles shows us here that there is a part of you that feels like your body and the way that you feel about yourself and your body is meant to be one of acceptance and love. So not just accepting, but also loving. And the Oracle of Pentacles shows here that you're going from a place of feeling like you have to fit in to understanding that standing out is your biggest superpower. The things that you were afraid were different in you. I see that in the next chapter of your life, you're really getting to this place where you're like, you know what? Actually, that is what makes me unique and special and different. That is also what attracts people to want to be friends with me, to want to work with me, to want to flirt with me. I do see here that literally the things you were bullied for or made to feel small about are now the things that people wish that they had. So I'm going to move a little more deeply into this with our Astro Dice so we can figure out exactly what area of your life it is. Okay, we have got the second house. The second house is the house that is ruled by Taurus, and it's the house of finances and security. So I do want you to know here in the Oracle of Pentacles, that is becoming more solid. That is becoming easier. That's an area of your life where, especially if growing up, you were always worried about whether you would make it, whether you could handle your finances, whether you would be stable in this regard. I do see here that you're doing much better than you ever expected. And we've also got the zodiac sign of Virgo. Now, Virgo is an earth sign. The Oracle of Pentacles also represents the earth realm. The number 2 is ruled by Taurus, right? An earth sign, and is also ruling finances and security. So all earthly things here. I see in the next chapter of your life, you're leveling up, and it's like you're becoming a real adult. Virgo is a zodiac sign that is ruled by Mercury. This is an earth sign. It's very detail-oriented, service-minded, useful. And I do see here that you are like diversifying the earthly realm for yourself. So having stocks, having real estate investments, living in a way how you're abundant, yet you're not spending on things to impress people. You literally have the finer things in life where it matters for you. It could be, for example, buying organic blueberries and matcha and having things without seed oils, but at the same time, you're not going to splurge and like eat caviar every single day, for example, or eat out every single morning, lunch, and evening. You'll save that for an occasion. You'll save that for a time when it feels right. And I do see here that literally you are maturing so much in the earthly realm. This is an area of your life where in the next chapter, you're getting better. You've got more accumulating for you. The material realm is the realm that you are dominating, where you're actually turning into an expert. And it's never been as good as it's going to be in the upcoming chapter of your life. So if that sounds like what you need, and if that sounds exactly like what you hoped for, group number 1, I can't wait for you to experience it. The North Node represents a future that is aligned. The thing is, you were always meant to be really aligned in the earthly realm. You were always meant to be aligned when it comes to this area of your life, but you just had to learn a couple different traits. You just had to learn a couple things along the way to really value what's coming next. Because the thing is, if you've never experienced anything challenging, or if you've never experienced what it's like to be alone, then you'll never appreciate when times are easier. You'll never appreciate when you found an amazing partner. It's just like if you've never been alone, if you've never experienced being single and actually enjoying your own company, you can sometimes find it really hard to think of the idea of breaking up with a partner, even if they're not good for you, because you're afraid of being without them and completely alone if you've never experienced it positively, right? So the 10th house is your house of authority. The 10th house is ruled by Capricorn. It's the house of your public image, your legacy, your career. And that is definitely where I can see here in the future, you're building, and you're building it through the earthly realm. You're building it through financial security, through owning things, through ownership. I also do see here with this hiking vibe that we've got going on, through positive health as well. So if your parents were never really into health, or they did not understand the concept of health very well, I see that you are the first one to break the generational curse and the generational kind of normalcy of bad health just being a thing. And the 10th house definitely shows a lot of growth in the next chapter of your life, and you doing that with a supportive partner that we spoke about in the Elder of Wands here, that we spoke about, with whom you're going to have a very fun life with and a very stable life. Next, we've got the electric eel spirit for you. Now, the electric eel spirit is a symbol and a sign for you bringing your ideas to life. And the reason why you are in a space of authority is because you're bringing important ideas of yours to life, and you're doing so because you finally feel confident. So finally bringing your idea to life of having your own YouTube channel, starting your own business. Maybe you already have a business. You're a coach, for example. You've joined one of my programs. You've joined Psychic CEO. It's literally developed for coaches who want to get to the next level, who need to bring certain ideas to life that help them break through to the next level, that help them get to that next level of service, the next level of having clients, the next level of income, of offers. And I see in the electric eel spirit, literally also for 9-to-5ers who are watching, bringing your ideas to life means that you're able to have the respect that you deserve in the workforce by bringing your ideas to life without someone constantly breathing down your neck or telling you what to do. The spider spirit shows us that you are literally making the dreams that you have a reality. It's like you're spinning your own web. People are listening to you, and before you know it, you're in a position of far more power than you thought that you would be in. So I am getting here in the spider spirit that you've got far more power in this next chapter of your life, especially in your career, than you've ever had before. And it's because you don't care. Group number 1, let me let you in on a secret, because you're working because you want to, not because you have to. You've got nothing to lose. Unlike others who have to play the office politics, who have to pretend, you don't need to. And that makes you infinitely even more powerful. And your angels and the universe is saying to you right now, let spirit be your guide. Let yourself be led by your guides, the universe, your angels. You're going in the right direction. If you needed reassurance about this, sometimes you don't have to course correct. Sometimes you've got to understand you're already on the right path. You don't always have to do something differently. You don't always have to change. Sometimes you have to just stay the course for long enough until success follows, because the bee spirit confirms sweet results await you next. Let's just make sure this is all zoomed in. Here we go. Sweet results await you, and I see that you're still going to be seeing some bees even later in the year when you shouldn't be seeing them. You'll still see 1 or 2 bees, and you'll be like, oh my goodness, where did you come from? You know, these cute bumblebees. And they'll be kind of on their last leg, but you'll know that what is special about this bumblebee is that it worked, it persevered, and it lived and outlived its other family members to the point where you're like, what are you still doing out here? Isn't summer over? And I do want you to know that when you see this, it's a sign, it's a synchronicity, it's a symbol that sweet results await you, group number 1. And I want us to move even more deeply into your reading by adding a charm. Let's see what we're going to receive here. All right, we've got a flamingo too. Now, your flamingo showing up is a symbol of either, so there's this place, it's called Lake Nakuru in Kenya. That's what I'm getting here for the flamingo. So going on a safari to where they have flamingos, or a zoo, seeing flamingos there in your local zoo. And another thing, another message that I'm getting for those of you where the first message doesn't apply, this is message number 2, which is paying attention to the food that you eat and how it affects your glow. In case you didn't know this, flamingos are pink because of their food. If they don't eat well, they don't get as pink. The better they eat, the more radiant their color. So I do see here that your spirit guides are trying to remind you of the same thing. So remember that what you eat has a direct impact on your health and also the way that you look. And then we've got the starfish for you. You have so many animal spirit guides for this next chapter of your life group number 1. The starfish symbolizes you're a star and that possibilities are infinite for you. I'll just put that over here on our B. Possibilities being infinite means there are so many different paths to your success. When you lack resources, I promise you it will make you resourceful. So even if now you feel like you've tried every path, you've tried every way to get to that next chapter, that next level of happiness, I want you to know there are still infinite amounts of ways in which you could think in a more abstract way, okay? Abstract showing up within your reading as a word that you had to receive shows us here that you need a concept that does not refer to a concrete object, but denotes a quality or an emotion. So what this means here is don't think so much in terms of a concrete object, but more an emotion. Like if you want to feel more successful, rather than thinking of, oh, making X amount of money or having X amount of clients or getting this promotion or passing this test, think of the feeling and how you can achieve that feeling. Think of how it felt when you experienced success and love in the past, and then chase the recreation of that feeling. So there are so many ways in every single day that you can feel successful, rather than waiting for one big moment to celebrate. So if you, for example, know that you feel successful if you work out, maybe you can't work out every day. Maybe you can't go to the gym every day. Maybe you don't want to. But what you can do is get X amount of steps every day, like 5,000 steps every day. If you want to challenge yourself, 10,000 steps, 12,000 steps. And making these goals that can give you that same feeling as if you made it to the gym, as if you ran a marathon, as if you accomplished something quote unquote bigger, but that's less attainable. When you give yourself that feeling every day of being a winner through an abstract way of getting there. Like if experiencing love is something you want more of, but it's not possible because you're in a situationship, a long-term relationship, or you're in a rocky relationship with your partner, perhaps feeling love can come from your pet. It can come from calling a different friend every day. It can come from meditating on love. It doesn't always have to come from this one source and giving your power away to one source having to make you feel this way. And if it doesn't make you feel love, if it doesn't make you feel successful, then you don't feel the emotion at all. No. The universe is trying to tell you there's so many ways how you can feel how you want to feel. Channel it, make it a possibility. And I see here that your career in your next chapter is also going to take on a very abstract new role. Now, abstract and your career represents that you're going to be like the first one inventing this new role, especially for those of you who work in an office, who work in a corporation or a 9-to-5. The role that you will have next in your career, in your next life chapter, is a role that doesn't exist yet. So you are creating it, you are making it a reality. It's only going to exist because of you. It doesn't exist yet, you are the one bringing it to life, and I do want you to know that what's next is also closure. If there's a lawsuit that you're dealing with, someone that you used to work with who was extremely rude, who treated you unfairly, who made you feel small unnecessarily, I see closure coming for you there. I see a lot of healing with this person, and I see that when it comes to your career, also having closure on the fact of, yeah, you were always meant to accomplish more, than your parents and teachers told you. And that gives you closure to just know, yeah, they were always wrong. I was destined for more, and I've done more now. And yeah, they get to watch me succeed and win. And I'm not going to let them ever get in my head again, because now I've proven to them and to myself that I am capable of more. I'm capable of greatness. Now, within the Nine of Swords, I do see here that in your next chapter, sleeping is something to focus on, because you're having a lot of moments where overthinking is keeping you up at night, group number 1. And your sleep routine and sleep hygiene being of importance, it shows a level of self-care that maybe you never took as seriously before, but the Queen of Rings shows that very quickly, if anything comes up, you find a fun solution. For me, just to give you an example, the fun solution has been to get candles that smell amazing, to get like a warm water bottle to have while I'm sleeping, to get new bedding, to get myself a Kindle so I can read while I'm about to fall asleep and I don't have to hold up the book, which can be hard to do from bed, to have like a sleep routine playlist. There are so many ways in which you can make something fun and make something an act of self-care. And I see that getting very creative when it comes to that is what your guides want you to do next, group number 1, and what your guides really want to see from you. Okay, let's move a little more deeply into your reading, shall we? We've got action. All right, so taking action, something that somebody or something does, the way somebody or something moves or works, or the movement itself, energetic activity. There's energetic activity in your next chapter, a lot of action, a lot of doing, a lot of taking the lead. And that is actually what leads to results, because often we don't realize when we're procrastinating or overthinking or we're fearful that the best remedy is to just take action. When you're afraid of something, if you just do it, if you just face it, it goes away, right? Because you've dealt with it, because you've done something about it. And that's a message that I can see here you were meant to receive already now, because you can get into the next chapter of your life now. You don't have to wait for permission, group number 1. You don't have to wait for anything from anyone. You can do it now. You can get into your next chapter now. You can feel new, shiny, confident, in control now. We've got the Elders of Cups in reverse, and the Elder of Cups in reverse shows us the seahorse in reverse. So I see kind of a return to a bit more of a traditional mindset. So that's not in an exclusive way at all, like excluding certain demographics of people, but it's more that you've come to realize you actually like that there are some jobs that are for you and some jobs that are for your partner. And it's for your own relationship. I see in your own romantic relationship, you'll make it in a way that works for you. So maybe gardening is your thing, whereas in a different relationship, they would say gardening is more for the man, or whatever gender, whoever you identify as. You guys know you're all welcome on this channel. You've all got a home here. But what I'm trying to say is, like, you have roles that you like in your relationship because it creates attraction. It creates polarity. It creates like that sizzling effect of two people having different strengths. And you really want to maintain that, as I see here in the Champion of Pentacles, that is what makes you and your romantic partner so successful together, is because you both have your roles, you both have your things that you're experts at, you both have different areas where you deeply respect one another and you deeply respect what you both bring to the table. And you truly respect the non-material aspect. You truly respect things, even if you can't put a price tag on it, for what it is and what it does for the relationship and the dynamic. And this just creates a very healthy type of love life where you have the stability of not having to worry about bills and covering rent and paying for insurances. And at the same time, you really value one another in a way that goes beyond that because you can. If you're constantly in fight or flight mode, then you're only arguing with your partner about what? About earthly things, about abundance, about bills, about money, about all of these things that are tangible. But once you've got that cleared, you can really step into a new kind of spiritual level of the partnership, of being with your person, because you can actually focus on something else. You can actually focus on other areas of the relationship that are non-material, because you're not overthinking, you're not stressed, you're not in fight and flight mode, and then the relationship can become even deeper. But it starts with you both creating these tangible assets and results so that you can lean back and relax, enjoy each other's company and the relationship. And this is something that I see where working together, it just bonds you even more. It makes you even stronger. So group number 1, this is the first portion of your reading I've received for you, but there are so many more messages that you have to receive. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to clear and cleanse the space, and then I'll be right back to guide you even more deeply into your prediction. As per usual, you don't have to lift a finger, you don't have to do a thing. Just hold on tight, and I'll be right back to guide you even more deeply into the next chapter of your life. Welcome back, my gorgeous soul of group number 1, as we delve even more deeply into your reading about your next chapter. We're going to be using my Gentle Heart Tarot deck, which I first published back in 2021. I can't believe it's already been this long. Now let's get into it with this iconic tarot deck. The 10 of Swords in reverse and the 4 of Diamonds in reverse have showed up for you. Both really positive cards to show up in reverse, because then the cards basically mean the opposite of what they mean upright. I'll show you upright to gain clarity. The 10 of Swords, as you can see, it shows being tired, being backstabbed, feeling like you need rest, and you have to take it because your body is making you take it, because your mind is making you take it. As the Suit of Swords corresponds to an overthinking mind, it corresponds to burnout. The 4 of Diamonds represents being in need of more financial stability, of more resources, going through a time of feeling like you have to be stingy. But because all this has showed up in reverse, you're being freed from it, you're being released from it in the next chapter of your life, group number 1, and it's really going to be a time of finally finding peace in these areas of your life of overthinking where you otherwise would have burnt out, and finally actually being in the type of mode that you deserve. Next, we've got the 9 of Diamonds that's showed up for you. So the 9 of Diamonds in reverse tells us that moving forward, you're moving from this place of I'm getting there, I'm about to be successful, I'm about to have these things that I want, to like, okay, now you have it. You are done getting there, you are done about to be there. You're finally arriving, and you're staying, you're maintaining, you are allowing yourself to have that as your new reality finally. And then the Page of Diamonds, everything in reverse for you today, group number 1, shows us that anyone who has been keeping you playing small is not going to have a voice in your mind anymore, and is not going to have an opinion that matters anymore. If you had a friend that made you feel like you're not as capable, like, you know, when you tell friends or family like big goals that you have, and they kind of look at you funny, they kind of look at you in a way that makes it obvious that they think you're crazy, or they think that you're not ever going to get it, you're never going to be as successful as you want to be. Yeah, I definitely see these people, these entities leaving. They're not part of your life anymore. They're not part of your existence anymore. And the next chapter is free of these energy vampires. Next up, within the Spirit of Wands, I've got this enthusiastic, adventurous part of you that's becoming extremely pronounced and out there. The Spirit of Wands shows literally booking flights just on a whim, just like that, going to different countries, going on adventures, feeling really enthusiastic about life in a way that you never have before. That's what I see in the next chapter for you, because you're becoming a lot more fearless. It's like nothing scares you, nothing feels like it's too much. Group number 1, it's really like you're becoming this version of yourself that is afraid of nothing and inspired by everything. That's what I'm getting here within the Dawn of Wands. We have so much fire sign energy that's coming out that is making itself known in your life. And perhaps you're a fire sign, group number 1, then this speaks to you. But you might have fire sign placements in your birth chart that are now just basically flaring up, that are now just catching fire, group number 1. and you never really noticed them before, but what comes in the next chapter of your life makes it undeniable that something is different, something has changed, and something about you is ready for more. Something about you is ready for you to break through the ceiling and to get to the next level. And for all of us, our next levels are different, but I do see here that elevating from single to engaged, from married to kids, from kids to having a business together, properties together, traveling the world together. I want you to know here within illusion to be aware of love's illusions as well and to see reality clearly. Apologies for the overlit vibe right now. It seems as though our angels are like, we have to make it really, really clear what illusions mean. And that means be aware of illusions in love, because sometimes we become so delulu in thinking someone loves us, when I want you to look around and ask yourself, what has that person brought into my life that's positive? It could be that they brought joy and happiness on a consistent basis. Then it's not an illusion. But if you have dealt with someone that makes you feel like your dreams aren't possible, or you're in a situationship with someone flaky, or you're with someone who has never done anything to provide stability and security, not emotionally, physically, or financially, you might be under a love spell. You might be under a soul tie, an illusion that something is here that isn't. And I see that when you come to this realization, it gives you closure. When you come to the realization that, you know what, not every connection is meant to be, not every connection is even good enough for me. Not every person can actually provide the things that I need in a relationship. Not everybody is made for me. And that's great, because you don't want to even be with anybody. You don't even have time to be with everyone. You just want the right people. And the same goes for your career as well. If you have been dealing with people in your career where you had the illusion that they cared for you, but their actions showed otherwise, close the door, give yourself closure, focus on passion. The next chapter of your life is filled with passion, keeping the flame of passion alive. It is literally the heartbeat of love. And passion is kept alive in love, be it platonic or romantic, by two parties putting in effort and making sure that you both feel seen, you both feel heard, you both feel understood. Just think about an amazing connection with a friend, right? There's passion for a friendship, and now I'm talking about a platonic friendship before we segue into romance, okay? When you have that friend that's like a sister, that's like someone you can talk to about anything and everything, you've never had it before, there's this sense of passion. There's this feeling of, we really get each other. And to keep that alive, it's two people who keep that alive. It's both of you working together. It's both of you caring about one another. That's what keeps that going and keeps that alive. And the same goes for your romantic relationships, but in a way of both put in effort. Like you plan dates, you show up looking a certain way because you know they like it, they find it attractive. You flirt with each other, you show each other how important you are to one another. I see keeping the passion alive in your relationships is what you're focused on in the next chapter, but only the right relationships. Remember, any illusions are going to be uncovered, any spells that you were under. Then we've got T, H, and S. Okay, so I'm getting something. S-T-H, something. Let's see what else we're getting here. We've also got Q. HQ, headquarters, ST, headquarters. So there is this part of you that feels as though passion is very important. And during your next chapter, you will find that when you really take time to figure out who is meant to stay in your life and who isn't, you will be like in the headquarters of your love life, of your connections. And there is someone by the name ST where an illusion will be uncovered. So it can be Stephanie, Stefan, Stephen, Starlet. I want you to know here there is this kind of awakening of someone with ST in their initials where you're coming to a realization that might be slightly uncomfortable for you because it makes you think back at times in which you trusted them, times in which you thought, oh, this was really someone who's got my back. And I see here, yeah, that was in February, that you thought they really had your back. And that was the first time there was a crack in the facade. And if you think back, you're like, okay, February is really telling for me in love and also friendships, maybe even because we've got Valentine's Day during the month of February. But that's when a lot of truths are always revealed to you. And if you think back at previous Valentine's Days, it will say a lot to you. Group number one, it will reveal a lot to you about who is bringing peace and who's bringing relaxation and who is honestly just taking away. Next, we've got visitation. So I do see your next chapter is going to be filled with a lot of loved ones coming to visit you, benevolent guides, revelations, feeling like, oh my God, yeah, I closed one door, but I opened another, because now I have more time for my friends. Now I have more time for family. Visitation shows quite literally someone visiting you. Visitation can also pertain to children or anyone who's incarcerated, and visitation being an important part of closure. Next, we have the quest. Now, the quest represents goals. It represents deep shifts, carving out change, and inner journey. You're on a quest in your next journey. You're on a quest for carving out change by yourself, the type of change that you want. You've got goals. Writing those goals down is a great way for you to reach those goals, group number one, and also putting yourself in rooms with other people who are very goal-oriented. If you're looking for a community to join of coaches and spiritual entrepreneurs who want to break through to the next level, I coach you every single Sunday inside Psychic CEO. You can find the link below in the description box. It is a subscription because I show up for you every single Sunday, and it is the most powerful way for you to break through to the next level, because in the portal, I combine community, coursework, and coaching into the most fabulous space that will help you to achieve your quest. And when you join using the link, I immediately send you a reading that will bring you to the next level and reveal truths that you had to receive right upon joining. You'll receive a notification of the reading that I've created for you. The link to that is below in the description box. Coming back to the quest that you're receiving for the next chapter, these deep shifts that you're going through come from a place of knowing that yes, hard work is important, but there's no point in working hard if you don't know where you're going. It's like if you're in the water and you're just flailing your arms around, you're going to sink regardless of how hard that you flail your arms and your limbs and your legs around. But if you know how to swim and you're going in a particular direction, then you'll be able to get to your next destination or to shore or wherever it is that you're trying to go. And I do want you to know here that the more you realize what a gift that you are and what a gift that you have, you find a way to give it, the more that you will be able to step into the next visionary level of who you're meant to be. Because you've got a gift, you are supposed to share it. If you've tried it before and you failed, I just want you to know, don't give up so easily. The most successful people, they fail every single day. And it doesn't mean you have to quit your 9 to 5. It doesn't have to mean you have to quit other sources of stability in your life just because you're trying to create something else or build something new or make something bigger or better. You can do it all. The mountain is a representation that actually, yes, you will overcome the fear of having, quote unquote, too much on your plate, and you'll persevere through it. And this is a reminder that if the goal was to eat, let's not complain that we've got a lot on our plates, and let's just completely rephrase the narrative to, wow, how grateful do we get to be that we get to work hard at issues of things that interest us, things that can change our life for the better. How amazing that we get to try again in areas of our lives that inspire us. So group number one, know here that despite there still being obstacles, so group number one, remember that every time you overcome a fear, you strengthen that muscle inside of you, inside of your brain. You strengthen that neural pathway that allows you to never, ever allow anything to make you feel small or scared ever again. Group number one, we've got a few more messages that I am dying to reveal for you. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to clear and cleanse the space, and then I'll be right back for us to delve even more deeply into your reading As per usual, you don't have to lift a finger, you don't have to do a thing. I'll be right back to guide you through the next chapter of your life. Welcome back, my gorgeous soul of group number 1. Let's delve even more deeply into the next chapter of your life, shall we? So, okay, we've got quite a few messages here. So first up, we've got the Four of Cups, which shows me that a little bit like Rapunzel, you are in your castle and you're like, I'm bored, but at the same time, you're not putting yourself out there, group number 1. As the Eight of Pentacles shows, you are constantly working. You are very goal-oriented and ambitious. That's an amazing character trait in you. You're very hardworking. But I do see here within the Seven of Swords and the Eight of Pentacles that your guides are trying to say to you, take some time for your connections, your private life, more time than you've been taking. As I see here that working hard is something you're never going to have to worry that you're not doing enough about. You're never going to have to worry that you're not working hard enough, that you're not putting in enough effort, that you're not showing up enough. This whole not enough, it just doesn't apply to you, group number 1. To be quite honest with you, it's really the last thing you have to ever worry of. And I see here within the Devil that the reason why you might have these feelings of, okay, I'm not sure if I'm doing enough, I want to put in more, I want to bring more to the table. Sometimes from childhood, you were always in a position where your parents made you feel guilty for resting, for not doing anything, for having like a Sunday to yourself and just playing or just being a kid. Literally, even in school, for example, having to keep up with other people and the brands they were wearing, the things that they had that perhaps you didn't always have access to. And the Devil represents your connection to the material realm, and I see that you put a lot of pressure on yourself in that area of life based on what you've been through. And also you've seen what it's like for people who don't have enough in the material realm, and you always want to be able to be secure when it comes to that. So I get it. And in the Eight of Crystals, group number 1, things happen very quickly for you, and the next chapter is also going to come very quickly. And in order to not miss out on all the events, try to take a step back from working sometimes. That can look like going for a dinner that you otherwise would have skipped. It can look like going for a walk by yourself in the nice side of your city or of your town. The Temperance card here shows indulge in some healthy things, healthy activities. It could be having a matcha or an iced latte, holding off on all of the sugary kind of syrups on the inside, but still giving yourself a treat. It could be going for a nice walk and having a piece of cake rather than purchasing the cake and eventually eating the whole thing across 3 days at home, just indulging in a nice slice when you're out with friends. Just romanticizing your life and doing so in a way where you're not overindulging is what I'm getting in Temperance, that your spirit guides want you to do next, that your angels are saying that will make you feel really good. That's going to get you out of the hamster wheel. If you've been feeling like you're repeating the same patterns, like you're in a hamster wheel, like you're all the time in the same position. Know here within the King of Pentacles that also someone will come to you with a business deal, with a business suggestion. And the King of Pentacles is telling you that you have to be a little careful when people come to you suggesting things that are out of your depth, because if they're the expert and you're not 100% sure or you don't know what you're doing, you might get yourself in a situation where you don't end up winning in the way that you could if you just spent more time learning. Now, Temperance and the King of Pentacles is telling you don't sign any big deals right now. And by big deals, I mean a big deal is a lease. It is signing off on a car. It's signing off on real estate. It's signing off on a loan. So don't do that right now, and take a little bit of time to read the fine print. As I see here within the Devil, this is like a warning to you that is going to help you not get attached to anything in the earthly realm that will stress you out. And the Ace of Blades shows you that the more someone tries to pressure you into doing something quickly or signing the dotted line quickly, the more that it's not in your benefit. And the more that they're chill when you just want to have time to really look into the details, and they even encourage you to, they show you how you can read the fine print, the more you're actually like, okay, this is a trustworthy person. This is someone that I want to work with. This is someone that I want to deal with. This is someone with whom I want to move forward with. So I definitely see here that you are learning more of the ins and outs of human psychology. And that's making you feel really confident, group number one. And then within the spirit guide, I do see for you also, you've got spirit guides by your side that are leading you at this time from a place of where you placed a lot of your value on your job, on your position, and on your income, to finding back to your roots and all the ways in which you are so invaluable, all the ways in which you're so unique, so beautiful, so worthy of love and adoration that have nothing to do with any of your earthly accomplishments, not with your education, not with the money you make, not with your job position. That's a type of confidence that's unshakable that nobody can take from you. And that's what's happening in the next chapter. People who aren't very spiritually evolved or never had a little bit of a spiritual evolution, they'll be like 60 years old and they'll still think the proudest thing in their life is to just have a certain job position, and that will be above everything. It will be above family, it will be above anything philanthropic that they've done, it will be above anything outside of that job or X amount of money that they've made. And that is a very fragile, brittle way to be, because you'll see those people, you can't really have discussions with them because they get heated, they turn into arguments because they can't really accept anything that challenges their worldview. But when you have a confidence that comes from the inner knowing of who you are, from this unshakable part of you, literally nothing can harm you, nothing can shake you, nothing can make you feel less than, nothing can ever take your confidence. And it makes it really easy to forgive. The thing is, when you're super confident, and when you are the type of person who knows you have a reason to be confident, like you have worked hard to be able to say, yeah, of course I'm confident, because why shouldn't I be? I've earned it. I've put in the work. It's really easy and quick for you to forgive others because you don't have a fragile ego, and your confidence doesn't rest in others having to be right or smaller than you. That doesn't matter to you. I see that you are more focused on seeing the world, on understanding from every viewpoint, on every angle, broadening your horizon. And the next chapter of your life is also going to bring travel. Travel from one place to the next, and from also one phase to the next phase. We've got this pregnancy announcement. So traveling for someone who is pregnant, if this is you, group number one, you know that there will be travel involved with pregnancy, even like a baby moon, for example. So a trip before giving birth, the last one by yourself with your partner. And I do want you to know here, like, you are guided to do all the right things in your next chapter, group number one. So don't overthink every single choice that you make or every single feeling. Let it be, let it flow, and take your time before you sign anything. The Two of Coins shows us here that you have this area of your life in the next chapter where you're figuring out how to find the balance between your private life as well as your work. The Two of Coins shows that intuitively you'll know how to make a better schedule for yourself. Intuitively you'll know which party and festivity to attend and when to put your work first. You don't need anyone to tell you. You are literally the psychic CEO of your life. You are in control. And the thing is, once you realize that, you become infinitely powerful. And the Three of Cups also shows that you will be going out with other goddesses who are in their power, in their divine feminine leadership, who don't have to put others down in order to feel up, in order to feel amazing, but who just have this unspoken sense of self-confidence. And being around these types of people is what I can see you're focused on next. And that is also making your life better, more elevated, more stable, because you know exactly why you're in this situation. You know exactly why you've been brought to better friends, to people who are more interested in talking about big ideas than talking about other people, because you're ready, because you've grown, because you've gone through the spiritual evolution of being quote unquote above the material realm, above the things that are tempting to make your life purpose. but you're not allowing it. You're above making your job or what you can afford or money your life purpose and a way in which you identify yourself. You're not doing that. You're not part of that club. You don't need that. And that takes a ton of inner strength. The next chapter of your life is going to show just how much you're made up of that. And you're going to be blessed infinitely with amazing relationships and friendships, and with a better balance between your love life, your other private life, your platonic relationships, and your professional life. Now, my gorgeous soul of group number 1, this is the reading that I received for you. I trust that you found it insightful and that you enjoyed this highly detailed pick a card reading. As mentioned, if you're not already subscribed, make sure that you do. That makes it possible for me to continue to provide you with these psychic predictions, and I can't wait to catch up with you during one of our upcoming readings. Hello, my beautiful soul of group number 2. You chose my self-care oracle deck for busy souls, as well as the rose quartz crystal, which is, by the way, a crystal of infinite love and friendship and adoration, which may be exactly why you chose this stone. We'll just put it right up here for you. This is my self-care oracle deck, which I have self-published. It's linked in the description box if you're interested and you want to add it to your collection. But now let's move into your reading, group number 2, and figure out exactly what the next chapter of your life is going to be all about and what to look forward to, what to look out for. First and foremost, we've got journaling it out, as well as getting in touch with someone you love. I see that journaling is going to be part of your next chapter again, especially if you've been neglecting this self-care of journaling and of writing down your thoughts, and also getting in touch with someone you love that you haven't been in touch with for a while. So this is a relationship that means a lot to you, but somehow you've fallen out of being so close because you've been busy. Life has just been happening, and you feel a little bad for how the relationship has been neglected. And it's not like you're making it all out to be your fault, which, by the way, it's not, group number 2. But just to be able to reach out to someone you love. Also, we've got the number 2 here. They're going to love it. They're going to need it. It's going to give them a lot of energy, and it's going to come at the perfect moment. So if you've got someone on your mind right now, group number 2, and we're going to add some letters in as well, just to be even more clear about who this is. Text them, call them, and make sure you don't forget about this. And then, okay, we've got rut, but this can also, of course, mean Ruth. With rut, I want you to know you're getting out of a rut with someone you love. You're also getting out of a rut with journaling, with getting into writing down your thoughts, because it's highly therapeutic and it allows for you to clear out any type of unwanted thoughts as well. So let's move more deeply into your reading, shall we? So let's see what else that we've got here. We've got the 9 of Pentacles. So within the 9 of Pentacles, I do see here that what is true for you next is financial abundance. So we've also got phonetically true. Obviously, true would need an E as well, but what is true in the 9 of Pentacles is that in the material realm, in your career, things are elevating. Things are getting even better. You're like this goldfish. You're filled with abundance, and you're very, very close to your next big professional and financial goal being manifested into reality. And the 8 of Wands in reverse shows that everything is going to slow down first before it speeds up, group number 2. So if you are going through a time where you feel like, why is life kind of feeling slow and repetitive? It's because things slow down before they speed up for you. And it is a natural process that you're going through at this very moment. That's not a bad thing. It's actually just going to lead you to what you want. Out of all letters we could have gotten, we got triple S. Triple S showing up means that the letter S has a very profound meaning in your life with the slowing down. It can be sleep, sedation, and taking time to slow down, right? A lot of S's in those words. Another thing that I am also getting here is trust, okay? Trust if we had another T, but also rust. Things that were rusty, taking care of them. Rust being cleared away, and taking care of metals, quite literally, getting rid of rust and rusty relationships. Getting out of your own rut and also getting out of feeling rusty. Now, watching a nature documentary, rust is going to come up, like rusty things, rusty anchors. I'm getting this below the surface kind of oceanic vibe in the next nature documentary that you're going to watch. And it's going to really inspire you. It's going to get that philanthropic side of you going that has always wanted to do something for the environment. You've always wanted to do something for animals, for those who can't advocate for themselves. And just watching nature documentaries for your next chapter is also going to be so good for your mental health. And it's going to open up a window to new love, actually. Because then what the nature documentary is going to do is it's going to inspire confidence in you to go out, even going out by yourself, perhaps booking a trip to go somewhere alone. And you going on this new adventure is allowing for love to come in, not through the front door, but through a window that you didn't expect to let love in. So get ready for that. Even those of you who are in a romantic relationship, but you feel unseen, I want you to know this means a renewal. If you feel unseen, watch a nature documentary with your person. Do something different in order to reignite the spark and the flame if you're on speaking terms. But another message here within unseen is that, remember, love can be blind. So ensure you're not overlooking red flags. The next chapter of your life is about being real and honest with yourself, about red flags, about the things you want, the things that you don't want in relationships. Journaling it out will really help you to put things in perspective, because when you write it down and you try to stay as objective as possible, you'll start to notice areas and relationships where perhaps you've been overlooking red flags. Perhaps you have been okay with things that really you shouldn't have been okay with. And I see here within the Elder of Cups that, yeah, calling your mom, calling a friend, talking to them about your relationship, it's not a bad idea. It's really not a bad thing. The Elder of Cups also tells me that for the next chapter of your life, we have you taking on divine feminine and divine masculine roles. Now, this might sound spiritual woo-woo, but let me explain. Group 2, we've all got masculine energies in us. We've all got feminine energies in us. The Elder of Cups would be, for example, if you are working in a corporation and you step up to getting paid more, so you get a promotion, that is you being in divine masculine energy. Also, you having your own business, maybe you're a coach, for example, and you're setting your things up in a way that people can purchase from you. That is you being in your divine masculine energy. Maybe you're selling a product, you're setting up payment processors. Now, the Elder of Cups tells you that doing this is important to keep the balance of being in feminine and masculine energy, because you can only run a business or be successful at your career and have a roof over your head and be independent if you have some masculine energies with your feminine energies. And the Apprentice of Pentacles shows that literally from the dust there can be the growth of something new and beautiful. We have also got our Cancerian sign, even though the suit of Pentacles is the suit of the element of earth, so you wouldn't think it's a crab here, but we've got a crab that's holding this flower that has a coin in the center of it, in case you haven't seen it, and it's the only flower in sight. And this crab is holding this flower because it knows this is something new, this is something rare, and it's something fruitful. So I see you holding something new, rare, fruitful, that is going to have a financial gain at the end of it for you as well. And your spirit guides are trying to say to you, instead of overthinking love and relationships, why don't you tap into the unseen of where you're perhaps leaving opportunities on the table in your career, in your professional life, where you're perhaps overlooking that there are ways in which you can make your life easier and you can create more stability for yourself in the earthly realm, in the material realm. That's one thing that I see here for you in the Apprentice of Pentacles. We've also got the Seaman. Okay, interesting. Somebody, especially a man who works aboard a boat or ship, especially a low-ranking member of the crew of a merchant or naval ship. Remember how in the nature documentary I said aquatic, I said ocean documentary, below the surface, sea documentary, oceanic creatures, because we've also got something that resembles a fish. It looks like we've got waves here. Now we've got the seaman that shows up. So something that has to do with the sea, with the ocean, is for sure in this nature documentary. And by the way, if you're looking for a book about the ocean and everything that happens in the ocean that you never knew of, you never thought possible, I mean, I was shocked about the things that go on our planet. Watch Outlaw Ocean or Ocean Outlaw. I'm not sure in which order, but it's by Ryan Urbina. One of the most amazing, eye-opening books that I've ever read. And there are also seamen in there, and he speaks about the ways in which they live or perhaps even witness crimes and all of these dark secrets that go on the ocean with human rights and so on, pirates, etc. So I do want you to know I'm also getting Pirates of the Caribbean here with Seaman. Okay, so rewatching that, getting back into that, it's giving the nostalgic vibes of the Pirates of the Caribbean. It's taking you back to a different time in your life, a different phase, but sometimes the nostalgia and the going back in time, it can feel very therapeutic. It can feel like, oh, this is so nice to be able to have a moment to just go back in time and enjoy who I used to be. Hold the light tells us here that you are always meant to hold the light. You've always had very sensitive gifts. So when you enter a room and you're in a good mood, the entire room feels it. But the same goes for you entering a room and being in a bad mood, in a cranky mood. Everybody feels it. Everyone can sense it. It's like you've got this superpower, this special power of your emotions being felt so deeply that it can even kind of like almost force or scare people into doing things. And holding the light is telling you to remember to use the gift of you being someone that's so encouraging, that's so supportive. Use that to lead the way, especially professionally as well. Move with grace. Dance with grace, walk with grace, talk with grace, articulate with grace. I do want you to know here, the next chapter of your life is about inner and outer forgiveness. So forgive yourself for mistakes that you feel like you've made, even if those were relationship mistakes, financial mistakes, mistakes that you made with your body or your health. Maybe you didn't take as good care of your health when you were younger as you would have wanted to or you should have. Forgiveness in the outer realm with people who should have protected you, but they didn't, people who spoke badly about you. Now look where they are. Now look how karma has taken care of them. I just want you to know here in moving with grace that inner and outer forgiveness is your next chapter. And in so many ways, you don't have to forgive people on the outside because they are already going through a lot. It's like anyone who crosses you, let me just say how it is, group number 2, without beating around the bush. You don't have to be karma. You don't have to punish anyone. You don't have to go after anyone. Anyone who has done you wrong, life punishes them automatically. Like, it is just the law of reciprocity, of reciprocal energies. Anyone who has deliberately put negative energy towards you, they're receiving that back, and you're seeing that in the next chapter of your life. And it's like you almost feel a little sorry for them. That's just how big of an empath you are. That's just how much of like a lover girl, a lover person that you are. And it's almost a little scary, group number 2. I see here within midheaven that the next chapter of your life is like the pinnacle of just showing how big of an empath that you are. Because even the people who wronged you, it's like you feel bad for them, for the things they're going through now. Not in this doormat kind of way, but more in the way of like just thinking to yourself, why did you have to wrong me? Why did you not just realize who you were dealing with? You wouldn't have to go through all this hardship now if you just could have been nice, if you just could have played kind and fair. But to each their own, right? And the second house is the house of your resources. We have been talking about this, but Spirit is confirming this here in your reading, group number 2. Your second house, and you've also, of course, selected group number 2, is the house that in your next chapter is going to be deeply affected. Your second house in astrology is the house ruled by Taurus, and It pertains to your finances and your security, everything in the earthly realm. So we're going to delve more deeply into this. Group number 2, you don't have to lift a finger, you don't have to do a thing. Just simply keep watching as I'll take you deeper down our rabbit hole of figuring out what's coming in the next chapter of your life. So just hold on tight as I clear and cleanse out the space, and I'll be right back to take you even more deeply into your reading. Welcome back, my gorgeous soul of group number 2. So let's delve even more deeply into your reading, shall we? So first up, we've got hidden blessings, group number 2, and then we've got respect. What I see in your next chapter is that there are hidden blessings coming towards you. These blessings are going to get you more respect. Now, the hidden blessing could be that you are receiving a windfall, so extra money and an inheritance that you didn't expect, a hidden blessing. And you get more respect because in human society, it's just, the more financially stable that you are, or the more that you have a career that is seen as respectable, the more respect that you have in society. It all comes from perception. And if you're perceived as someone who is successful or beautiful or wealthy, you will have even more respect. And this gives you choices. Now, within choice, group number 2, I do want you to know that your next chapter gives you a lot of different options and choices of what to do, where to go, what to enjoy. I see within choice, you also have the option of visiting new cities, getting a hobby or a pet. I am also getting riding horses here. I'm getting a new pet, even a reptilian. It doesn't just have to be like a mammal. And with choices, I see travel plans to different hotels that you can stay at, Airbnbs. And sometimes having a lot of choices can almost be harder than if you don't have many, because then, you have to decide. And when you have to decide and it feels like it's all too much, group number 2, and we've got master number 22 here in the breathe card, never forget to breathe. And I know this sounds so cliche. It sounds so like, duh, of course I'm breathing. But no, seriously, even just right now, notice your breath. Are you breathing really deep breaths into your belly, or are they shallow as you're receiving this reading? Be real with yourself right now. Like, be real with yourself, and perhaps you do have to be reminded to breathe properly, because guess what? You're not. You're breathing shallow breaths, and you're not supplying your brain and your body with all the oxygen that you could if you just focused on breathing deeply on a daily basis. Remind yourself a couple times, because that also helps with anxiety. It helps with overthinking. It helps with any feelings of being overwhelmed when you breathe deeply and you make it a priority to calm yourself before making a big decision. That really, really helps with making the most of your choices, because when you have a lot of options, it's important that you start choosing options as well. As I see in the pig spirit and the butterfly spirit, literally use your mind wisely, because your transformations are beautiful when you use your mind wisely. And I teach you to do that within Psychic CEO as well, which is created for coaches and online entrepreneurs in the spiritual space who have tried to get to the next level with their business and failed and perhaps lost their confidence. And I teach you how you can become the psychic CEO of your life again, which will make you the psychic CEO of your business that learns exactly what to do should you ever hit a wall or a ceiling that you can't seem to get through again because you're stagnant, you're not getting more clients, customers, or you feel even in your 9 to 5 like you don't know how to move forward. It's for those of you who are spiritual and who want to get to the next level. I do readings in there. I do private tarot readings every single day, and I also am live every single Sunday with you. So you have community, you have my course of over 500 individual videos and modules you can only find in there. And then you also have my live coaching and tarot readings that I do on Sundays. So I combine that to transform you completely. Transformation is my goal, and you claiming your independence. So I'll leave it linked below in the description box for those of you who finally want to say yes to something new and get out of your rut, because there is nothing on the internet close to what I have created in Psychic CEO. I promise you that. Now, within the cat spirit, you're claiming your independence. The next chapter of your life is about being independent, claiming your independence, enjoying your independence. And you're not listening to anyone who is not bringing you happiness, fulfillment, paying your bills, or just adding to your life in general. As I see here within the wasp spirit, you've been there. You've understood. You don't get a prize for being the nice girl. You don't get a prize for being the doormat. You don't get a prize for being there for people in their hardest time. Actually, often, I don't know why this is human nature, but it feels like people respect you less the more you stick with them through like stuff that honestly you shouldn't have stuck with them through, not so early on in a relationship. It's really a privilege that close friends and family should have. And the wasp spirit shows that it's like you're too nice for your own good. You're too kind for your own good. And the hermit shows the next chapter of your life. Remember, it's better to be by yourself at times than to overextend yourself and then just feel like you were used and you're depleted, and you should have put that energy back into yourself. So if you feel like that's happening with anybody, retreat. Group number 2, retreat. Take time away. Put time into hermit mode, into being by yourself. The Ace of Swords shows that that's where you get the best ideas. And I know this Deviant Moon Tarot deck, it's almost like a little creepy, but that's why I really love it. You guys know I like to mix cute, creepy, modern decks all into your readings. So the Ace of Swords means a new beginning, a new thought process, and a new way of communicating your desires as well. Group number 2, your next chapter is all about communication that is concise, communication that is direct, and that is extremely fearless, and just led by your intuition. And the Queen of Pentacles shows us here, mom life. Okay, so if you already have kids, this makes sense. You will have to invest more into your kids. And that could be academically, clothes, back to school things. The Queen of Pentacles also shows any of you who are thinking of starting a family, you're already kind of putting some funds aside, some resources of yours aside. You're getting ready for it mentally. And the Queen of Pentacles shows here like 4 kids, and just this vibe of, instead of seeing a family, pregnancy, kids, all of that as like, oh, it's holding you back or it's making you slow down. No, it's actually making you stronger, more independent, and more understanding of how strong that you are. And the Ace of Wands shows exactly that. You don't have to become weaker. You don't have to be this person who neglects themselves, who doesn't feel like themselves anymore. Sure, it can happen, but why don't we focus on the ways in which you become infinitely powerful when you've actually gone through the cycle of pregnancy and having kids, and you go from maiden to mother. And that doesn't mean that if you never do that, you're not powerful, but I'm just saying if that is part of your journey, why not turn it into something that makes you more powerful rather than more brittle and sensitive? Why not make it something that allows you, just like our ancestors, to be even more resilient if you've survived it, if you've done it, even more iconic for your offspring and your kids, if this is part of your journey. Again, for those for whom this is part of their journey, it's not going to be every single one of us. Now, I do want you to also know in the Ace of Wands, this represents the birth of a new idea, something new that you're very, very enthusiastic about, passionate about. For some, it's a child. For some, it's a business. And then we have B and N. Okay, let's add a little more into your reading. Oh, a bun. All right, so a bun is definitely giving us this vibe of literally a bun, a child, a little baby. Perhaps you have your hair in a bun right now as well. And perhaps your bun has been in the oven and it's time to take it out. Like a business idea you had, it's ready now. It's no longer needing to stay within the oven, and it's time for you to make sure it doesn't get burnt, because anything that cooks for too long is going to obviously get burnt. So let's move even more deeply into your reading. We've also got your sound that's important. An impression of somebody or something formed from limited but significant information, especially information lately received. So I do want you to know here, Sound is important. I want you to understand the way you speak and the way that you appear has to be professional for you to be respected. There's a lot of hidden blessings in learning how to use your voice to command respect without forcing it. There's a lot of power in you having your hair in a hairstyle that allows for your hair to be protected but still look professional. And we've got the engine showing up as well. So if your engine is making weird sounds, those of you who you have like a car or a motorcycle, just anything with an engine, get it checked, get it checked. The engine is showing up to use professional engineering skill to design or create something, to use the techniques of genetic modification to develop an organism or product. So there are different meanings to engine. For yours, it's definitely to move forward, right? To either move forward physically and geographically through the use of an engine, but also the use of techniques of genetic modification to develop an organism or a product. If you're in product development, marketing, some of you, I know you work in labs quite literally. This applies to you that, again, there's something that you've been working on for a while. Bring it to fruition, bring the project into reality. Don't be shy. Use your mind wisely. The transformation to your next stage of your professional life and your creations is amazing and is beautiful. For all of you who make music, okay, your sound engine, you've got a bun in the oven, you've been working on it for a really long time. Start to bring it out. I feel so called out because I went to do a song in Arizona earlier this year. I told you guys in some of my previous readings, and you might have remembered, and I have to get back into it. I have to get back into the music because I got very sick and unwell while I was in Arizona. I probably caught some sort of bug while I was traveling. So unfortunately, my bun is also still in the oven. So can we just hold each other accountable, group number 2? Can we just like engineer ourselves forwards with our sound, our creative ventures, with the things, the projects that we know that we know are ready to be completed, so we can tick it off, also be able to just, cash in the check and move on to the next. Group number 2, we have more messages ready for you to receive. I'm going to clear and cleanse this space right now. You don't have to do a thing. You don't have to lift a finger. And I'll be right back to guide you even more deeply into your reading because I can't wait to see what additional messages that you have to receive about the next chapter of your life. Hello, my gorgeous soul of group number 2. Welcome back, and let's delve even more deeply into the next chapter of your life, shall we? So we've got Uranus. So within Uranus, or Uranus, however you'd like to pronounce it, I see that the next chapter is filled with change. And you know who's ruled by the planet of Uranus? We've got Aquarius. Now, Aquarius is a very rebellious zodiac sign. And I do want you to know that Uranus gives you this whole vibe of it being time for change, and especially in the areas of your life where you're feeling a little bored, where you're feeling like, okay, I'm ready for something new, I'm ready for something exciting. Let's see what area of life is going to be the most deeply affected with our astro dice. All right, we've got the 10th house, which is your house of your career and your public image. It's ruled by Capricorn. House 10 is your house of your legacy. And there's some change. You're being wild. You're doing things that you usually wouldn't do and that you've never done before. So you are being fearless, you're being creative, you're being innovative. If no one in your family has ever been a rock star like you, well, it's never too late to be the first one. And within Neptune, I do see this huge visionary kind of vibe from you and a very explosive quality. Now, Neptune is, by the way, the planet of imagination, of psychic ability, and being super sensitive. So I see that you're very sensitive to changes in other people and in society as well. You are finding a way to capitalize off of it. So you're finding a way how when you notice that, for example, people need a different type of approach to marketing, to products, or there's a certain type of product that right now people would really like, that's when you get into it. That's when you go for it. That's when you say, let me create this skincare that's crystal infused. Let me go into spiritual coaching. Let me start my new YouTube channel that is based on a topic that people need right now. And within your Aries energy, so whether you're an Aries sun, moon, rising, or you've got Aries anywhere else within your birth chart, it is giving you the courage to act. We all have every single zodiac sign within us. Just like masculine and feminine energies, some of us have more feminine, some of us have more masculine energy. If you're an Aries in one of your big threes, obviously you've got more Aries energy. But as a whole, we've got a little bit of every sign within us, some signs more, some less. And the part of you that has Aries is now going to act. The part of you where your 10th house in Aries energy is telling you to act when it comes to your career, when it comes to your public image. You're no longer settling for crumbs. You're going for all of the things that you know that you deserve, that you've always wanted, and that make you feel like you're finally being cherished and valued in the way that you cherish and value others. The thing is, group number 2, you never ask for more than what it is that you would give and you would invest. And I see here in the 9 of Pentacles, you are a very generous person. You're a very giving person. You're the kind of person that anyone can come to at any point with a problem, and you will let them have a little coin, because after all, you've got more than enough. You are the kind of person who feels abundant even when they don't have a lot in their bank account, or even when they're going through a time where for you, perhaps you're not as abundant as you would like to be, or as usual, you're still very self-reflected and you understand that you have more than the average person still. And the 9 of Pentacles just shows here that your generosity gets rewarded. In times where you yourself are looking to create more time, better health, more financial benefits, you still give, you're still generous, and that makes you the kind of person, or here within the 7 of Pentacles, your assets are always growing. The things that you're creating are always thriving, they're always growing, they're always getting bigger and better. It's because you are infinitely blessed by the universe. You are infinitely favored by God, by the universe, by whatever it is that you prefer to call it. I just want you to know your creations and the things that you put out will always be highly favored because of the kind of person that you are, because of the kind of energy that you create from, and because you create from a place of being genuine. So when you do something, you do it because you genuinely want to do well. You help people because you genuinely want to help them, not because you have a motive, not because you think if you help them, they'll give you something in return. And that is a type of energy that is becoming more and more rare, especially in this day and age. So it gets rewarded deeply when it does show up in humanity. Now, the devil is actually a sign of your next chapter being a reevaluation between you and the material realm. And you see how the devil is very similar in the vibe and the look to Aries in these two depictions. We've got the horns, we've got the direction in which they're facing, and we have this very magnetic intensity. It's not even necessarily dark or a bad thing, it's just an intensity. And the devil represents actually a change from putting a lot of your energy onto the material world and success to the success coming from a place of philanthropy, rather than having an expensive car, having expensive designer things, living on a certain area. I do see here that for you, that is switching, it's changing to other things being a priority. And the devil shows me that you are going to change friend circles as well, from people who found that to be the most important thing, how they appear, to actually you want to act because you want to create a better world. You want to be successful because you have something far bigger than the next pair of designer shoes, jewelry, or bag. You would like to create legacy, lasting legacy. And the 2 of Cups is the card of people pouring into you, of you being poured into, of romantic love pouring into one another, of true soulmates and true romantic love being the next part of your life in the next chapter. The 2 of Cups is like the most favorable card when it comes to romantic love. In the past, maybe you would have been impressed by somebody who gave you material things, who impressed you in a financial way. And it's not to say that you can't still enjoy that you can't still have someone spoil you in every way, including in the earthly realm. But it just shows like it's no longer something that is number one, and you're not impressed by people who are vain. You're impressed by people who give in a very thoughtful manner. Like if you, for example, say that your favorite beverage is matcha, and they go out and get you amazing matcha powders so you can make it at home, a matcha making kit, and they pour into you in a way that's very thoughtful, just using money as a tool to do so. Now, the Two of Cups is also telling me here that Aries energy is seductive to you. Aries and the Devil shows us that if you've got an ex, group number 2, and they are in Aries, that is probably not going to end the way you want it to. Be very careful with Aries, who especially have that intense nature, a very kind of tall, statuesque appearance of confidence. I do see here that that does seduce you very easily, and it's really important that you steer clear of being seduced by the wrong person, because we don't want you to get your feelings hurt unnecessarily, group number 2. And usually going back to old energy is not where it's at. So that's just a warning from your guides. And I do see here in your dreams there is some newness coming up in romantic love as well. Your next chapter is going to include dreams about your romantic love. It's going to include dreams about your life moving forward. And I want us to delve a little more deeply into it. Let's see what we've got here. All right, we've got soccer. Are you dreaming of dating a soccer player, or are you dating a soccer player, group number 2? Either way, a game in which 2 teams of 11 players try to score by kicking or butting a round ball into the net goals on either end of a rectangular field. It's a game of football. I want you to know soccer is going to show up in your dreams, and perhaps you'll even fall asleep during a soccer game in your next chapter. If you're not the one dreaming about it, you're dating someone who is soccer crazy. And I want you to know here that that is going to show up, and it's going to be a sign, a symbol for you that you're starting to connect with the person that you are meant to be with more deeply. And within strength, okay, we've got a depiction of strength, but also do you see these lion cubs? So strength coming from a place of not using brute force to control the situation, but coming from a place of peacefulness and kindness and inner calm. I see that you've always been a very strong person, but the next chapter of your life is just proving it even more than it's ever kind of shone through before. And it's coming from a place of you knowing who you are, and you're not going to let anyone make you uncomfortable or let anyone make you like act out of character whatsoever. And we have got the secret, okay, the strength to keep in a secret. If people knew all the secrets that you know, group number 2, there would probably be a lot of people who would be in trouble if you were to reveal everything that you know. I mean, for me, it's like that. The amount of clients and readings that I've done and very delicate information that I continue to receive, so you know what it feels like. Something that is unknown, hidden, or not understood. A little known technique, approach, or piece of information that is the key to success in an endeavor. I do just want you to know here, within strength, that the secret to you being strong is the fact that you've actually put in the work. You've actually done the things that you needed to do in order to get strong and to grow. It was no get strong quick scheme, just like when people ask bodybuilders or very fit people, well, what's the secret? How do you do it? Well, the secret is going to the gym. The secret is eating healthily 90% of the time. The secret is showing up. The secret is doing the training. There's no secret pill, secret sauce that will get you there other than doing the thing. And I do want you to understand here, for your reading, for your next chapter, a lot of people are going to ask you, what's your secret? How did you do it? How did you get there? And have fun with it, group number 2, because you don't always have to give the boring answer of, well, you know, I just went to the gym or I just worked hard. Be a little fun with it. Why not keep it spicy? Why not shock people a little bit? Why not make the answer fun? The 2 of Swords shows us here. You've got 2 options. You know, you can either communicate very directly and in a little bit of a boring way, or you can spice things up. And the Two of Swords is that card that's telling you, spice it up, keep it fun, don't be afraid to be different, don't be afraid to just say to them, you know what? I did a couple crazy things. I went on some crazy adventures of self-discovery. I had epiphanies that drew me to my dream soulmate and got me my dream body. And I tried plant medicine. I traveled to the ends of the earth. I went bungee jumping. I went to Alaska. I went here. I went there. Just live your life fully, because the Nine of Wands is just that message telling you there will always be a better time. It will always be not enough funds, not the perfect time, not the perfect photo, not the perfect this, not the perfect that. Who cares? We don't chase perfection. We understand we have to become the CEOs of our lives, the psychic CEOs of our lives and our existence, to take control and to enjoy life to the absolute max. You can either believe that the odds are stacked against you and find ways in which they are, or you can believe that life is happening for you and playing out in your favor and you're the main character. Which are you going to choose to do now, finally, in the next chapter of your life? Which do you think is going to give you the desired reality that you've always wanted, group number 2? The answer to those questions is and always will be, of course, yours, group number 2. Wherever you are on this gorgeous planet, group number 2, know that I'm sending you so much love. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. As mentioned during the intro, a whopping 48% of you watch my videos but are not yet subscribed. And by subscribing, you will greatly help the channel continue to grow and thrive, and for me to be able to create these psychic readings for you on an ongoing basis right here on YouTube. So my gorgeous, gorgeous soul of group 2, know that I'm sending you so much love right here from Zurich, Switzerland, and I can't wait to connect with you during one of our upcoming readings. Hello, my gorgeous soul of group number 3. You chose the Cherry Agate Crystal as well as the Dreams of Gaia Tarot deck. Now, this is the gorgeous Cherry Agate Crystal that you chose. This is an absolutely beautiful stone that helps you find clarity even in times of feeling unsettled or unsure. I'll just place your crystal right up here and let's get into your reading. Let's figure out what's coming towards you in your next chapter, because I cannot wait to see what group number 3 is going to receive within their reading. So we've got the Counselor, and we've also got the Ace of Fire, the Ace of Wands. Now within the Counselor and the Ace of Wands, I see an explosive combination of water and fire. So your emotions and your passion, but explosive in the best possible way. Because I see here in the Counselor, people always come to you for advice on their ideas, on moving forward, on their relationships. And because so many people have come to you and you've had so many different conversations and discussions, all of a sudden there's going to be like this explosion that brings a new idea, as the ace always represents a new idea, a fresh beginning, a fresh start, as this is the Ace of Wands or the Ace of Fire, which both represent the same element, which is the element of fire. And I want you to know that because people come to you with so many ideas, it's not that you're copying their ideas, it's just that you get inspired because you're like, wait a minute, I have now dealt with 10 people in my friend circle, in my community, at my job, who all have the same problem. Why don't I just create a solution for it and monetize it, and boom, there I go. I've got a side hustle, I've got a business, I've got something that allows for me to help people while at the same time creating more abundance for myself. Next up, we've got the King of Fire for you. So this is the King of the element of fire that shows that you're taking initiative, group number 3. So you're unafraid, you're starting to step up, and even on social media, for example, you're less afraid to post, because guess what? The older you get, the less F's you have to give. And the King of Fire definitely shows that this like King Fire sign energy, which is Aries, Leo, Sagittarius energy, is influencing your life in the best possible way. And I am also getting this shamelessness around your mental health and just saying, you know what? I'm tired today, or I go to therapy, or I'm not in the mood to deal with backhanded compliments. And rather than victimizing yourself, it's more this advocating for yourself energy. And I want us to use our Astro Dice to get more about the next chapter in your life. We've got the number 2. So the second house in astrology, let me just zoom in here for you, is the house that rules Taurus and is the house of your personal finances and your security. And I see that you have come to this understanding that, okay, if I want my personal finances to be good, if I want security, I have to advocate for myself. I need to do something about it. And then we've got Aquarius too. Aquarius is a rebel. Aquarius is, though a lot of people hear aqua and they think water, and Aquarius looks like, well, the water bearer. Aquarius looks like this Aquaman that lives underwater. Actually, Aquarius is an air sign, astrologically speaking. And Aquarius is a sign that is rebellious, that isn't afraid of anything, that's very intelligent and independent. So for your second house being in Aquarius, don't be afraid to try a new approach for your personal finances. That could be that every single week you have, for example, $100 going into a savings, $100 into stocks, a little bit here, a little bit there. Just don't be afraid of literally trying a different new approach that you haven't done before, that maybe even your parents never taught you either. Because I see here within the Ace of Water that the thing is, you take care of everyone else, but group number 3, who's taking care of you, who's taking care of your future, who's making sure you will be taken care of. And when you realize, like, I need to do something, I need to be proactive, and even if it's not the perfect action, I will learn with time. I can course correct. Maybe you'll invest into stocks and then you'll learn, oh, maybe these stocks are better, or oh, maybe it's better if I switch jobs, if I put myself out there. But still, apply for the managerial position. Apply for the new job. Try the side hustle. Try selling the solution that you've helped so many people reach as an unpaid therapist. Just put yourself out there. Get a little bit more intentional, creative, a little bit more bold and fearless. Here within the 4 of Water, I do see that you're going to soon, in the next chapter of your life, basically, you're going to change something about your appearance. So whether it's your hair color, whether it's a non-surgical procedure, or just like your signature look, which could be your makeup, your lipstick, I want you to know here in the 4 of Water that you've been extremely hard on your physical appearance, harder than anyone else, harder than anyone would ever judge you. You've judged yourself. And this is a message, a loving message from your angels, from the universe for you, group number 3. Stop judging yourself so hard. Stop being so hard on your appearance. Stop being so hard on yourself. Stop being so hard on your achievements, but also the size of your body, the texture of your skin, your features. Look at it as, wow, my great-grandmother passed these features down to me, and the way that she fought for me to even have this freedom that I have today, I better put some respect on her name. I better put some respect towards these features. Because the thing is, we often forget, while, okay, society has one beauty standard, our features were passed down to us by ancestors who had a lot more to worry about than how many likes that their Instagram posts would have gotten, you know? And honoring that, honoring how hard they fought, what they had to go through, the hardship they had to overcome, that should make you proud of looking the way you look, coming from where you come, and being who you are. We have the Champion of Cups. This card did show up in reverse, but I'm just going to show you this card upright first. Looks like we've got this fighter fish here, this Siamese fighting fish. Now, the Champion of Cups with our goldfish as well, it shows us here literally a time of feeling like you have to justify yourself is coming to an end. And emotionally speaking, you've just realized the more that you're dealing with people where you feel like you have to justify your feelings, your emotions, you have to justify your beliefs, the more you're realizing like there are people who are committed. And when I mean committed, like it is their job to misunderstand you. It's like they have made it their calling to literally every time you say something, correct you or misunderstand you or take it a different way. And it's absolutely time you don't try to convince them otherwise, as the 6 of Swords shows that what you then get to do is you get to go from a place of overthinking someone else's narrative about you and someone else's words, someone else's thoughts. Guess where that energy gets to go back to, group number 3? It gets to go back to you. Whoop-de-doo. You get to spend that energy and that time on your relationship, on looking hot, going to the gym, going on your 10K step hot girl walks, on cooking amazing comfort foods, learning new recipes, calling your mother, calling your best friend, talking to your dog, literally anything other than overthinking drama that someone else has created. Next, we have the 3 of Pentacles for you, and guess what? My favorite number, which is master number 66, which is a number of integrity, of hard work, of generosity with family. Now, the Three of Pentacles shows us here a bee hive, some coins as well. The Three of Pentacles is a card of working together with others, especially professionally, in order to create the honey, right? In order to create the sweetness, in order to have really sweet results await you. So in the next chapter of your life, don't be afraid to delegate. Don't be afraid to say, you know what? This task is cute. This task is nice. Like, sure, I could be mowing my lawn. I could be cleaning my house. I could be doing X, Y, Z. But why don't I just delegate that task? Like, why don't I just give this task of accounting to someone, pay them, and in that time enjoy my life or make more money than I paid someone else to do that task, and just have less friction. I do see here within the Five of Wands, like literally there is a bit of a tug of war that you are being called to solve. The next phase of your life, the next chapter, group number 3, is about lessening friction. And as you can see with these dogs, with these pups, and this looks a little bit like a Boston Terrier, and then here we have more the golden retrievers, and this looks a bit like a Jack Russell slightly. I don't know if you guys see that as well. So they're all pulling, right? Tug of war. And this is a representation of you being pulled in a lot of different directions. And working on lessening that means delegating tasks. It means getting rid of certain tasks that you otherwise would have had to do yourself, or you otherwise would have thought, oh, let me just do it. But when you keep saying, let me just do it, let me just do it, let me just do it, what happens, group number 3? I mean, you're the expert at this, right? Your to-do list becomes endless, and it's like you're never done. You're never satisfied with your results, because you can never get to the end of your day, because it seems like all the time you just have stuff to do. And the Four of Pentacles, which showed up in reverse, but I'll show you this card upright. The Four of Pentacles shows you being clenched when it comes to money, like holding on to money, being a little bit cheap on yourself, okay, being a little bit too frugal. Group number 3, let it go. Let it go. Let the frugality go. Frugality, to a certain degree, it can actually be really harmful to you, to relationships. Like, I know a lot of very wealthy people. I've worked with a lot of very wealthy people. I mean, it's a miracle that they invested in like one-on-one work with me, actually, when I think back. I must have really done something. But the Four of Pentacles, it reminds me of like very wealthy people who are so stingy, so tight with money, not because they don't have it, but because they're just so tight with it with themselves. So how can even their loved ones expect to receive freely? And it has ruined and torn apart a lot of relationships. So the Four of Pentacles in reverse is telling you, don't let it get to that point. Like, if you would like flowers, get the flowers. If you would like nice chocolates, pralines, or you just want to get yourself the face mask, like, get it and enjoy it and do it. Invest in yourself and your happiness. Of course, it's important to be financially like sound, smart, to be financially literate, whatever you want to call it. But at the same time, it's like, well, life is here to be enjoyed. Like, earthly things exist because they're part of the human experience. Let's stop shaming people for earthly pleasures, and let's just start normalizing the fact that, yeah, you know, it feels good to go to the grocery store or the drugstore and just pick up a face mask that you don't need and put on that same mask that you didn't need after you put it in the refrigerator while you were cooking dinner that night onto your face when you're done as you're watching TV, and just enjoying the fact that you indulged in something that seems so little, but it's actually really significant and has a lot of meaning. Next up, we've got Aries. So for all of my Aries, shout out to you. This will resonate deeply. And for all of you who have Aries placements in your birth chart, this one's for you. This one is telling you the next chapter of your life is literally reigniting that energy of acting. This is bold fire sign type of energy, and Aries is also representing this ram that is very hard-headed. The next chapter, the next phase of your life is a phase where when you want to do something, you're going to do it and nobody's going to stop you. It's like, who has the guts to stop you is going to literally wish that they would have just kept their mouth shut. Wow, we have that reiterated within Leo, another fire sign. So Aries is a fire sign, Leo is a fire sign as well. Leo, as you can see, represents the lion and is not about to back down. Leo represents you shining. Leo represents you being fearless. Leo is a very out there, very showy, very dynamic, fun, loving, generous, energetic type of sign. And the combination of Aries and Leo is a very don't mess with me type of energy. I'm fearless. I've stepped out of my like little girl, little person persona who's afraid to even say their opinion. And literally, like now, anyone who thinks that they will disrespect me and get away with it, they better think again. That's the energy I'm getting for your next chapter. We have a couple cards that popped out right as I was shuffling. Wow, we have really a few messages here that are quite interesting. We have the King of Water, we have the Ten of Water, and we also have the Four of Earth. Can I just say here, within the King of Water, we already had the King of Water show up here in the Champion of Cups. So the Champion of Cups showing up, the King of Water, this shows us a very strong, like, water sign person with masculine energy, with the energy of a leader coming into your life. And here with the Ten of Water, they're bringing fulfillment emotionally. This is someone that you can build with. This is someone who is ready to invest in you. So a water sign, which means Pisces, Cancerian, Scorpio, they are invested in your heart and in your well-being, and they are helping you in any way financially or in the earthly realm where you're like too cheap to spend on yourself, because the Four of Earth is the same card as the Four of Pentacles. Okay, Four of Earth, four of the element of Earth. Pentacles corresponds to the element of Earth. Same, different decks. Now they're helping you to overcome this, and that's really what you needed, because sometimes it's not even that you don't want to, you just need a little push from someone who loves you, who values you seemingly more than you value yourself. Wow, ouch, group number 3, I really did just say that to tell you, like, no, let me get you this coffee, let me get you these flowers, let me get you this top, this outfit, let me book you this dinner, let me invite you to this place. And sometimes you just need that experience to remember, like, wait, I deserve to relax, I deserve to enjoy, like, I deserve all the things. And here within the Maiden, I see that you're still going to enjoy another season of feeling like the Maiden. So even if you're already in your mother phase, even if you sometimes feel like the matriarch who listens to everybody's problems, still a very joyful, playful, nurtured version of you is here, like a bubbly, fun, very youthful version of you. And it might show itself in you buying a new stuffed animal, you eating candies from your childhood that you haven't had in a very long time, you listening to music. Like for me, what brings me into my Maiden energy, for some reason, Ariana Grande is one, but Blackpink, wow, Korean pop is very youthful to me. The Maiden also is like bows, very playful clothing. I'm getting like the Dolls Kills online shop, ASOS, and so on. And not to say fast fashion is something that's good, but just to give you the vibe that I'm getting, Avril Lavigne is coming up as well. So this Maiden energy is coming back up. Lindsay Lohan, Mean Girls, Britney Spears. We've also got your 11th house, which is your house ruled by Aquarius. It is your house of friends and luck. So I do see you connecting with friends over something that brings this Maiden energy back out of you. So literally a night of karaoke, High School Musical coming back up, you know. Sharpay and all of those songs like Camp Rock, Demi Lovato, all of these memories coming back up. That's one thing that I'm getting here for you. And stepping just into that portal, into that vortex of youth, as dramatic as it sounds and as spiritual woo-woo, it actually brings you to a place where any traumas you experienced then, like parents making you feel like you were stupid, like it was insignificant, being bullied at school, it's like you can transmute that pain and that trauma into something positive by reliving it now and being protected now and standing up for yourself now. So it's almost like you're rewriting the past, and things that remind you of the past, it can even be a scent, like Paris Hilton perfumes were a big one, Boss Orange, Juicy Couture, all of these, and going back to your past, but healing it. Going back to childhood, to teenagehood, but instead of reliving it just through these memories, actually going back and healing parts of you that were wounded during that time, because you're rewriting it. And then we've got watching a nature documentary. Okay, David Attenborough, I'm getting something oceanic. I am getting anything below the surface. Anything in the kind of realm of my octopus teacher. If you haven't seen that, I've recommended it in a few of my videos, and some of you have already watched, and you've told me it's the most insane thing you've ever seen. Watch it on Netflix. And no, this is obviously not sponsored. And while you're at it, you guys, did you know 48% of you are not subscribed, but you receive my readings, you watch them, you love them? Make sure you hit that subscribe button, because it greatly helps me to continue to create these readings for you on YouTube, and it really does support the channel hugely. Just you clicking that button, it's completely free, but it has a huge impact on the channel. So I would greatly appreciate you doing that. Group number 3, let's move more deeply into your reading. Since you are now subscribed, you've done everything right. So let's carry on with your prediction. Movie time. Okay, movie time and watching a nature documentary. It's very clear. Your next chapter is going to be filled with movies, filled with documentaries, filled with shows that are actually increasing your IQ. So not just reality things, but actually like shows that are making you smarter, that are making you more intelligent, that are broadening your horizon and your worldview and teaching you new things that you didn't know beforehand. So I do want you to know here in watching your documentary and movie time that we have this huge element of self-care, of snacking, of drinking like warm cocoa, of having a beverage of your choice that really comforts you, and where you can just kind of be teleported into another world, into a different reality. And a little bit of escapism has never hurt anyone, group number 3. And I see that your spirit guides are trying to say to you, do it, escape, like have a great time, have fun. And we're gonna delve into even more messages. Group number 3, I love this little like message bag that I made from my online store, Beau Life, where I just have this velvet pouch with all of these messages. Oh, okay. We've got a racket. I'm getting tennis racket. I'm getting country club. I'm getting bougie. But what racket also means is an illegal or dishonest money-making scheme involving activities such as bribery, fraud, or intimidation, a business job or activity of any kind. Okay, group number 3, we are 100% legal, cute, and we are all about creating dream lives that are aesthetic and beautiful and have nothing to do with being behind bars. So we are getting tennis rackets. We're getting rackets here for pickleball. We are getting ping pong rackets. I am getting here that just spending time outside and investing in these new hobbies is going to connect you to people of another echelon. And then we've also got February. You know what's going to happen in February? Okay, the first amazing Valentine's Day, because you already did the work now. You already, invested in your relationship or meeting a special someone now. February, in the Gregorian calendar, the second month of the year, lasting 28 days, or in leap years, 29 days. The second month of the year between January and March. Okay, so February is important, and February is going to have an impact on the next chapter of your life in the most profound manner. February is going to give us some sort of change that is going to make the trajectory of your life go into a new direction. And I want us to use a charm to see what that may be. Let's see, guys. I'm just going to randomly select a charm for us. Oh, okay, we've got the sun. You know what the sun represents? The sun represents light, happiness, also new life, okay? Pregnancies, births, new life, and absolutely beautiful beginnings that are filled with love. The sun represents energy. It represents, again, life, okay? Because nothing can live without sunlight. Nothing can survive forever without it. There are only a very, very few little microorganisms that can, so you guys don't come for me in the comment section. Okay, but there's this little organism that we found in a lab that lives in like 8,000 feet below water somewhere in the Mariana Trench or whatever it's called. Okay, guys, but you get it. You get that like most forms of life, 99.99% forms of life, they need sun. They need sunlight. They need to be able to have the warmth in order to grow, in order to be alive. So I do want you to know here that the sun is what you're getting in February. Even if it's a grim month, even if it's a dark month, literally the sun is your February thing. Group number 3, I see so much happiness, so much joy. I'm getting this feeling of everything that you've wanted. Group 3, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to clear and cleanse the space, and then I'll be right back to guide you even more deeply into your reading, because now it's getting juicy. Now it's getting good. Now it's getting like where we want this to go. So group number 3, just hold on tight, relax. You don't have to lift a finger as per usual, and I'll be right back for us to delve even more deeply into your prediction. Welcome back, group number 3. Without further ado, let's delve even more deeply into the next chapter of your life, shall we? So we've got a doorway as well as abundance. So there's a doorway opening up into abundance. And this is a doorway towards love. Opportunity is about to present itself that leads you to a new person. Open your heart to receive the abundant love that the universe has to offer. Obviously, if you're open to love, if you're not in a committed relationship, or, some of you are in open relationships, we don't judge over here. I do see an opportunity opening for a new person, and be open to receive the abundant love that the universe has to offer, because this was meant for you. This was meant for you to be receiving of it. As within voids, you were avoiding rushing to fill voids with love. You plainly said, group number 3, you've healed. You've sought out inner fulfillment first. You have done a lot of work on yourself, a lot of healing, a lot of growing, a lot of centering your needs and becoming someone who is very well-rounded. You've taken courses, you've sought out mentorship, you've got your own tarot, oracle cards, and crystals, and you have just further explored your internal landscape through journaling, through meditating, breath work, yoga. And I want you to know that however you move forward in your next chapter romantically, it is from a place of knowing what you're doing. It is from a place of being whole already. As in the Dawn of Swords, we've got a message of self-reflection and you having diligently self-reflected. Group number 3, let me know below in the comment section by leaving a heart emoji below that you agree. You've healed, you've self-reflected, you've put in a lot of work. And the thing is, like, when you've put in so much work into your healing and into your growth, you don't want to settle for someone who hasn't done the same. You don't want to settle for someone who has not put in time and effort to heal themselves and to grow themselves as well. And I see here within the star for you that actually your next chapter brings you harmony and renewal. The harmony comes because you don't feel bad to keep people at distance who are not very well developed or healed. And you're understanding it doesn't mean that you're being judgmental. You're just protecting your peace, because unhealed people cost a lot of peace. Let's be so real about it. And in the star, I see that you have these star qualities of entering a room and the energy of the room shifts. It changes. People just notice that you're a star. People just notice undeniably something is different about you in the most positive way. But that also makes you a target for some. That also means that some people will try to dim your light. And that's where your spirit guides are trying to say to you, group number 3, that harmony is so easy for you to have when you keep other stars around you. As in the 2 of Cups, I see that your romantic life is meant to be filled with a star as well. The 2 of Cups is one of the most positive cards you can receive in the entire tarot about romantic love. And the next chapter of your life is 2 cups being full, 2 champagne flutes to be exact. So yeah, you might not be everyone's cup of tea. That's because you're champagne and so is your partner. And the 2 of Cups represents respect, balance, boundaries. For me, it would be alcohol-free champagne. For you, maybe also. But it is just the whole notion of you're a step above tea when it comes to the experience, when it comes to how luxurious it feels, and also the cost. We're not talking about health and the actual difference between tea and champagne. I take tea any day, but you get what I mean, group number 3. You guys get the point that I'm trying to make. It's just 2 people on another level of being healed, of being supported by angels, by guides, by the universe. Like you and your romantic partner, you are both extremely successful. You see eye to eye in so many ways that you could not see eye to eye with someone who just still hasn't invested as much time as you have, or even the fraction that you have into yourself. And it's okay to want someone who is on a certain level, because I see here in the 9 of Swords, literally, that can avoid so much conflict and anguish, because low key, high key, group number 3, you have had romantic partners in the past that have been jealous. You have had romantic partners in the past who have tried to low key, high key sabotage you, which means like it felt as though you were being paranoid, but now looking back, you're like, no, they definitely tried to sabotage me. There's definitely a reason why we were married and they were talking to their ex. There's definitely a reason why they snubbed me that one time and told me that I didn't look good in my dress on my special day. There's definitely a reason why they hit their phone every time. And I do want you to know here within the spiral of incarnation, the thing is like, because you are not the kind of person who's still in a place where you want to play games, you just don't understand that perspective. And it's just like someone who is still too childish to be out of the spiral of playing games. They don't understand how fun and how exciting life can be when you're just genuinely loving and genuinely just want an adult, beautiful relationship. And the thing is, both sides of the coin don't fully get one another, but the thing is, you can empathize with anyone, group number 3. And I see in the secret garden that because of this, you are the kind of person who is able to accomplish anything they set their mind towards, because you see things from so many different perspectives. It's even you having your own business, you having other streams of income, or going to a job interview because you love your office jobs, you love your 9-to-5 vibes, and literally going to the interview, you can see things from the perspective of the person interviewing you, which makes you far better prepared than other candidates. You're more confident, you look better, you're more put together, your CV is up to date. You are literally answering questions in a way that nobody else can. And I do want you to know here in the secret garden that your dreams deserve nourishment of you pouring back into them. So pouring time and energy and money back into your dreams. If you've always loved arts and crafts, get some new arts and crafts, little things that you can use like stickers, like paint, like wallpaper. If you've loved music, perhaps find a producer near you, invest in recording a track or into something new for your music. If you love YouTube, tarot, and oracle cards, by the way, join my Psychic CEO membership, because every Sunday I coach you live. If you've tried a spiritual business or you own one, you're a spiritual coach, you're someone who's entrepreneurial, you want other streams of income, but you don't know how to become a Psychic CEO, I teach you everything with a course framework, with coaching, and in the community you get readings as well. As soon as you join, I send you your reading basically. And once you're in, it's like this magical portal, honestly. So the link to that is below in the description box of this video. Any of you who have experienced coaching or are a coach yourself, this is going to give you a huge source of inspiration, and I'm going to show you how to do this successfully. So moving more deeply into your reading with messengers, we've got the guardians, divine orchestration, and you calling in support. So the next chapter of your life has a lot to do with you calling in support and feeling guided, feeling like your angels are here. So feeling like your angels are here can often come when past loved ones visit you. That's why this shows up within a reading. So past loved ones, also past pets, them coming into your life in a magical way makes you know that there is so much more than meets the eye to life, like with energies, with souls, with angels, with just energetic beings, entities. And I want you to know in the messengers, there's some sort of sign, some sort of synchronicity that will show up for you. And we've got the 9 of Pentacles. This card did show up in reverse, but I'm showing you upright here. We've got the goldfish surrounded by coins. So what this means is that the moment you feel like you have everything, you're going to be shown how unimportant money and material things actually are, because what will touch you the most is when you have this kind of supernatural experience of a past loved one and an angel visiting you, coming to you in your next chapter. And the 4 of Swords tells me this will happen as you're daydreaming or as you're sleeping. So in a very quiet moment, when you're all by yourself, you'll feel a beautiful presence of someone supporting you, of someone protecting you, of you no longer being by yourself. And that will calm anxieties that you've had. And by the way, you guys, as you all know, my name is Vanessa Somuayina. I say it during the intro of every single video. But did you know that Somuayina, where I'm from, I'm half Nigerian and half Swiss. Somuayina means I'll never be alone. It's actually my Nigerian name. And I do want you to know here that that same feeling is coming to you of never being alone. And you'll realize in the Seven of Swords, you've been fed so much BS that was unnecessary and that made you less confident, like that you had to be smarter, come from a different background, look a different way, or that things take so much time for you to be successful, or oh, you should just accept this BS treatment from this situationship you're in from this guy, or oh, you can't get divorced because that's terrible, even though you're in a relationship that tolerates violence. All of this stuff here in the Seven of Swords, you're just dismantling. You're dismantling all of the generational patterns and traumas that have just not served you. And instead, in the Three of Cups, you're focused on partying. You're focused on having a good time. Actually, just today, during my Sunday live coaching, it was Wild Woman themed for my Psychic CEOs only. And you guys always get the recordings for those of you who can't make the live coaching. So if you can make the live coaching, you get private readings during it, and you get to ask me questions during the Q&A. Obviously, if you can't make it live, you get the recording. It's in the portal. You can still ask me questions even after. And the Three of Cups is just such an embodiment of this wild woman energy that we were just in as Psychic CEOs. And whether you're part of my Psychic CEO community yet, or you're just watching this video on YouTube, I believe every single one of us has this Psychic CEO energy of being the CEO of your life, which means that you become the CEO of your work, of your love life, of your happiness, and you are in control, and you can use your intuition to get everything that you want. And the Three of Cups is exactly that energy. You're being wild, you're being bold, you're being outspoken, and you don't care if anyone finds it shocking. You're going to live your best life, because if you think of older ladies, for example, just older people, they don't give an F. And they say they lived their best life as soon as they stopped giving an F, and they just lived how they wanted to live. Of course, in a way that didn't harm anyone unnecessarily. But I just want you to understand that this next chapter is a chapter of freedom without having to wait till you're 80 years old. The Two of Pentacles shows that forever feeling like there's a lot of work and there are a lot of things in your private life, you're coming to the realization, to the epiphany, like, wait a minute, I'm always going to have an endless to-do list. I'm always going to have a lot of things to do at work. I'm always going to have so many things that I want to accomplish and see and do. I might as well just not even be hard on myself starting today. I might as well just do the best that I can and be happy with everything I accomplish every single day. Because for eternity, the human experience will be that there's always something to do. That if it's not one thing, it's another. Whether you're single, you have kids, you're in your 50s, 60s, 70s. Because I have people of every age group watching my readings. The Two of Pentacles just tells you, you know what? Slowly, steadily having your healthy habits and your mental health in place, that's the best thing you can do for yourself. Like, one of my goals, for example, is every day to get 10,000 steps. When I hit that, I am so happy. But I built it up. I worked up to it. If every day I eat 80% healthy foods, I'm happy. But I worked up to it. First, it was 20% because I'm plant-based for like 12 years now or something, maybe longer. But as a kid, I never ate vegetables. I never ate fruit. I was chubby. People called me tsunami in swim class. Can you believe that? Here in Switzerland, it was so bad. I was bullied so much for being chubby. You would never believe it or think it today. But you guys, I totally feel all of you who are struggling with your weight or struggling with food. And just understanding, like, if you set little targets, you hit them, and you make them achievable for yourself, you'll get better and better. You'll feel so happy and accomplished every single day, and you'll learn, like, perfection is something that you'll never reach. So you might as well just celebrate every single time that you get closer to where you're trying to go. And every time You keep a promise to yourself. We've got the death card that showed up for you. It did show up in reverse. Don't worry, this doesn't mean literal death. The death card is actually such a positive card to receive, as in reverse it speaks of, again, past loved ones visiting you, but also transformation. Death means an ending, and with every ending comes a new beginning. And group number 3, these new beginnings are always an opportunity for new growth. They're always an opportunity for you to create more of the freedom and the life that you've desired and wanted. And that is one of my goals. That's why I did Psychic CEO, because I want you to become the Psychic CEO of your life. I want you to do it in support, in community, with me coming live, teaching you, uplifting you, because that's so much better than just something you sign up to or some like course and then that's it. You're by yourself. You know, I actually show up for you actively. And the thing here is, within death reversed, you are transforming from a place of feeling like you had to do it all by yourself to, here in the King of Swords, I see you are creating your own little following of people that you can rely on, you can lean on, people that really understand your vibe. The King of Swords is an indication that in the next chapter of your life, you are becoming the leader of a group, of your friend group, who makes the big decisions of planning like vacations, getaways, when you're going to meet for coffee or lunch or dinner. The King of Swords is also an indication that your intelligence is being put on a pedestal. So a promotion is one thing that often happens, especially here in correlation to the Nine of Diamonds, which shows us growth in the earthly realm. This is from my Gentle Heart Tarot deck, you guys, which I published in 2021. I can't believe it's been so long. The first tarot deck I've ever published. And the Nine of Diamonds shows growth. And I just want to remind you, this showing up from the first deck I ever published to now having like 7 self-published decks, oracle and tarot decks. I never gave up and I just kept going. And that's one thing that I see, that you're just becoming wise to the fact that, as cheesy as it sounds, the journey really is the destination. And if you can just make the journey fun, if you can just create little challenges for yourself, stick to them, and be proud of yourself every single day, everything becomes easy, it flows effortlessly, and you become insanely abundant. Now, the Moon card in reverse is an indication for you that listening to your intuition is something you're good at now, so start executing. You understand your feelings, you understand so much about yourself, but can we stop overthinking and just start like doing it? Because the Hermit in reverse shows that the next chapter of your life is one of getting out more. Okay, you've been inside for long enough. You've stayed in the house, we get it, Rapunzel, but you're not going to meet new people or find new opportunities under your couch. Your dream person isn't going to break into your house and propose to you. All right, that job opportunity, that extra stream of income is not going to create itself by you sitting at home and just basically bed rotting or doom scrolling on your phone. Go out a little bit more. I know 2020 kind of taught us all to stay home more than we perhaps wanted to, but it's time for you to go out. Oh, okay, we've got wake. Wake, be awake. Wake something up. Something is being woken up within you. Something is being awakened. Wake also, of course, can mean a wake in the sense of, you know, a social gathering to honor someone who has passed over to the other side, who's like grieving. That brings up again the deceased loved one, the deceased pet that's coming up again. And then we also have weak. Okay, so something is getting weaker, something is weakening, and I want to find out exactly what that is for you. Group number 3, let's see what we're going to receive here. You guys, I love how many of these messages that we've got in here. It's literally just message mayhem. Okay, frown. All right, that frown is weakening. Are you getting Botox, group number 3? Because that is one thing that weakens a frown. But all seriousness, let's get into this. An expression on your face made by moving your eyebrows down and closer together that shows you're annoyed, worried, or thinking hard. So that is getting lesser. That is weakening, which means that if your frowns are weakening, you have less reason to frown, which means less reason to be annoyed, worried, or thinking extremely hard. Okay, look at life just flowing effortlessly for you in the next chapter. And then we've got stand. Stand means an opinion that somebody has or an attitude that somebody adopts, a framework or structure on which something is supported. So the thing is, the less that you have a rigid stance or stand, less that you feel like something has to be a very specific way, whether it's in organized religion or in society's standards for beauty, for women, for human beings, the less that you feel like you have to conform to something so specific, so narrow, the more your frown lines weaken, because there's nothing to get upset about anymore. When you're just so open-minded, such a free spirit, such a free thinker, like what is there to be bothered about? Literally, what is there to be upset about when you're just like, you know what, everyone lived their best life, just don't harm me or other people in the process. Thank you and goodbye. So that's the vibe that I'm getting here in your next chapter. And then, okay, I love that we have this skull showing up as well. And you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of that Mexican celebration of honoring the dead. And there was a Disney movie of it as well. I'm not sure what it's called anymore. I'm sure you guys will let me know below in the comment section, because I'm sure you guys all remember it. But I want you to understand here, literally, instead of feeling a void, I see you celebrating everything, everyone, past loved ones, your ancestors as well. Your next chapter is about fulfillment. Your next chapter is about living your best life, honoring who is, honoring who was, and everything just being in flow for you. This is just such a holistic, spiritual, upcoming chapter. I can't wait for you to experience this, group number 3. So I've got one more kind of hunch from your angels to clear and cleanse the space and be back to guide you even more deeply into your reading. So I'll do that right now. I'll clear the space, I'll cleanse the space. You don't have to lift a finger, you don't have to do a thing. And then I'll be right back to guide you even more deeply into your psychic reading about the next chapter coming for you in your life. Welcome back, group number 3. So let's delve a little more deeply into the next chapter of your life, shall we? Let's see what's coming towards you. We've got the 4 of coins and the 6 of coins. So letting go of some stinginess that you had around splurging on yourself, getting the facial, getting the non-surgical treatment, getting your nails done, getting that beautiful workout set from Lululemon, or what other bougie brands are there? There's Lululemon, there's Aloe, there's Tala, I think. There are just so many of these, and I want you to know here, it is definitely an investment in something that you will have for a long time, and you'll be happy for it for a while. Well, more than a while. There are certain things where you'll just have them for years, and every time you wear it, you'll feel good about yourself because it'll just fit you right. It will feel amazing, as vain as it sounds. It just brightens up your day. As I see here within the Emperor, the thing is, like, you do so much for others. That's what the Emperor shows. It shows that Emperor energy of leading. This makes a lot of sense, especially if you're a parent. And oh boy, if you're a single parent, this is calling you out even more. If you've been a parent, like, the longer you are a parent, the more you step into Emperor energy, because the more you've been a boss, a leader, a caretaker, and a provider for a longer time, you just get better and stronger at it. But some of you, like, I also need to call you out, because some of you, like, the less you take care of yourself, the less you invest in yourself, until you get onto that wave of, like, wait a minute, let me get myself the flowers, let me go get myself the delicious sushi, let me take myself on this little solo trip. Like, I've done my job. I've been an amazing caretaker. I've been an amazing parent, partner, just human being at work. I deserve this. And I see here within the Empress, yes, the universe is like, get into that Empress energy, girl, like, get into the energy of receiving. The Empress is divine feminine energy of receiving, transmuting, and multiplying. So it's like that saying, if you give a woman a house, she makes it a home. If you give her ingredients, she makes a meal. If you give her a seed, she makes life. So the Empress also, of course, represents new life, fertility. For some of you, you're like, I've done the babies. I've done the child topic. Whether you have the kids or you don't, you're just like, please, Vanessa, I mean fertility in the sense of business, yes. For some of you, the Empress also represents going from maiden to motherhood, going from maiden to, mamacita, mom, going into a phase of pregnancy, of childbearing, of taking care of babies and children, and that just bringing out even more of this attractive energy towards the opposite sex. And I see here within the Three of Coins that a lot of what you've learned about finances, about the home, about cleanliness, about order, I see that there is some snapping of generational curses here in that regard as well. So if you had parents that were not super well organized, and our camera is going crazy with the lighting because Spirit is like, yes, Vanessa, go deep. This is really going to hit a nerve. So I'm going to go there right now. Group number 3, I hope you're ready. The Three of Coins says, your parents not being organized, not being financially organized, not knowing how to communicate in a way that is not toxic. I see like you're cutting through those cords, those ties, because you're not passing that on to your next generation. You are not creating legacy from that. And it doesn't mean you don't love your parents, that you don't honor them, that you don't appreciate what they've done for you. It just means like you want to do the best with all of this information and technology that we have. We know so much. It would literally be a crime to not do better than our parents. It would literally be the worst. I don't think there's anything worse we could do than to just not use all this technology to learn to do better. But also I see that you're ready to raise the next generation in a more resilient way than what you've been seeing around you. I see you're a little bit bothered by the lack of resilience, and you want to create that mixture between being tough, being courageous, like being brought up with a solid head on your child's shoulder, but then at the same time without the abuse, without the put downs, without the meanness. The Parrot Spirit shows that you want to watch your words. You know that words are unforgettable in the best way. Like you can hear something amazing from someone you love and you feel more confident than you felt ever before, and it helps you to overcome challenges. It helps you to start your business, to keep going on like the hardest day ever. But you also know that you can't take words back, especially words that sting. And you're just becoming extremely sensitive to this, and it's part of how you communicate in your job, with young people, with children, your children, and with those around you that you work with. Because the Cow Spirit shows me you're like a protector. You're that person that's a safe space. And hurting people with words because you've experienced it, you've been there, you are trying your hardest always to never do that to another person, at least not intentionally. Group number 3. And that is, again, the reason why people flock towards you, the reason why people trust you with everything, the reason why your brain holds so many people's secrets. You probably know way more than anyone should, and that's a lot as well, by the way. Group number 3, the secret garden again, planting new seeds. The next chapter of your life, we have yoga poses, but also planting new seeds. Like if you have a greenhouse, if you have one of these at home little seedling things that you've always wanted to do, you're finally doing it. But I'm also getting like nourishment here in the sense of you eating seeds. Like I just had pumpkin seeds at lunch, and I also love pistachios. I love chia seeds as well. I know pistachios, I guess they're more nuts than seeds, but you get the picture. Just having more like nutty seed-like things that you're of course not allergic to, but that are really nourishing you and giving you healthy fats. Not being afraid of healthy fats, but seeing how actually it's really good for your skin and for your brain and for your overall energy levels. And next up, we've got reflections of time. Now, this tells us the next cycle of your life, the next chapter, is going to be about unlearning things that don't serve you, cycles of change, okay? So stepping through like a portal to a new door. And I do also see you're very inspired by movies and by reading books, like how other people do life, other people's families, traditions, and norms. and making your own traditions and norms for your own family lineage that you're building. And the thing is, you don't care if anyone judges you because you've been there, done that. And within messengers, again, just know your angels, your spirit guides, they're going to be with you all the time. They're going to be communicating with you all the time. No, you're not going crazy. The fact that you are constantly seeing number synchronicities and also different symbols, there is a reason behind it. There is meaning to it, and there is a depth in it. Okay, group number 3. So stop being afraid and start just understanding like things happen for a reason. And then we've got an engine. An engine represents to use professional engineering skills to design or create something, or to use the techniques of genetic modification to develop an organism or a product. So if you have been trying to develop something for your life that's like an engine that's going to get you to where you're trying to go, just know here, like, that's what's coming in your next chapter. You'll have a messenger, you'll have a spirit guide, an angel bring you literally a message of what to do next, of how to create your very own engine to supercharge your life to get to where you're trying to go. And then we have soak, an act or instance of immersing something in liquid, a solution or liquid in which to soak something, a long period of time spent in the bath. The next chapter is about soaking your skin with hydration, soaking in a bath, and freeing yourself energetically of any type of pent-up anger or energies you don't want. In case you don't know, bathing and soaking in baths is extremely cleansing for your energy. It gets rid of unwanted energy, of negative energy, and of course it can also be very healthy for your skin if you put oils in it, and it's very relaxing. So immersing something in liquid can be done to cleanse not just energies, but quite literally wanting to cleanse something, like soaking your hands into a solution, into a liquid, so you can then get off nails that you've got. It could be soaking your hands into a solution to soften the skin, your toes because you're getting a pedicure, soaking an item of clothing so it's easier to get a stain out of it. Soaking is done for either relaxation or to make the thing softer and easier to work with, right? To kind of allow for moisture or cleanliness to be the next step, the next thing that penetrates. And the 8 of Wands shows that you'll move forward way more quickly when you soak yourself and your brain into where you want your brain to go and what you want your life to become. So soak yourself quite literally, psychologically, into where you're trying to go. Read biographies, autobiographies by people that you find super inspirational. They might be entrepreneurs, they might be athletes, they might be musicians, they might be creatives. Literally soak up their brains, soak up their knowledge, soak into that energy. You can do the same by doing a sound bath. You can do the same by listening to inspirational podcasts. Moving more deeply into your reading, we've got the Champion of Pentacles in reverse. What that does is it will show you how humbly so many people that you look up to that are icons, how humbly they began, and it will take them off of the pedestal, which is why the Champion of Pentacles has shown up in reverse, because you're no longer going to pedestalize other people and their success and see it as unattainable. It becomes more attainable the more that you immerse yourself being in the same room with people who have accomplished the things you want to accomplish, because you'll learn things from them and what they're saying and how they're speaking that will give you this confidence to do it yourself and to move forward yourself, being very successful and doing things that you've always wanted to do without fear, and knowing that the beginning is usually always humble unless everything was handed to you. And when you know that, you step into your next emperor cycle of accomplishing the next big goals in your life in your upcoming chapter. So group number 3, this is the reading that I received for you. I hope that you found it insightful. And if you watched it all the way to the end, of course, don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you aren't already. Your support makes it possible for me to continue to create psychic readings on this YouTube channel for you. So, my gorgeous soul, wherever you are on this planet, know that I'm sending you so much love, and I can't wait to connect with you during one of our upcoming readings.